welcome back to Mystic Monet. Today's pick a card reading is what does the future hold for us? I recently did a video that was mostly for single people or people that are no longer in a relationship. So I really wanted this video to be specifically catered to people that are in relationships, that are couples, and they're just curious about what the future holds for them. This can also go for people that are newly dating and you're just curious about if you were to get into a relationship with them, what it would lead up to. You can use your intuition to help you pick a pile 1 through 4. If you want, you can just text a random friend and have them, or you can text the person that you're with and have them pick a number for you, whatever floats your boat. You can now pause the video if you'd like to help you reflect and hopefully pick the pile that is meant for you and your relationship. Please enjoy. Okay, pile 1. What does the future hold for you and your partner? So what I'm getting from this pile, there is someone in the relationship, and this can apply to you or it can apply to your partner, but someone in the relationship is really holding back. They're not really speaking their mind as much. They're not openly communicating as much as they could be, especially like not as it should be in a partnership. I feel that they just hold back a lot. I feel that the other person, I don't feel like they're super aware of this actually. I feel like the partner says just enough for you to, whoever is the one holding back says just enough for the other person to not think that they're not communicating or anything like that. I just feel like they hold back. Like they don't really say everything that's on their mind. If something bothers them, they tend to just, it's okay. Like they save it for a rainy day. And I feel like there's like this buildup going on. It could happen currently, or this could just be something that's gonna occur in the future for your relationship. I feel like because they are not expressing everything that they're feeling, there's this buildup, and of course it's going to, just like a buildup, it's going to eventually leak out. It's going to necessarily can cause an explosion. So I feel that they're holding all this stuff in, and they're slowly just letting themselves chip away in a way to where, this could cause like a really major argument between you guys over something that they could have expressed earlier in the relationship. But instead they feel that by holding back that's actually helping the relationship, but in a way it's not, because the other partner is unaware of how the person's truly feeling. And if you don't know how your partner truly feels, then it negatively affects the relationship more than it positively affects the relationship. I also think that, of course, with the 3 of Cups reversed, stereotypically, and I don't think this is going to apply for every person that picked pile number 1, but of course this usually means like an affair, and it usually means that there's some cheating involved. And this can also circle back to the fact of the person not really expressing too much of how they feel. But whoever cheats, of course, I feel like when this cheating occurs, the partner that's getting cheated on, I feel that it's really going to mess with their confidence a lot, especially with the Strength reverse. And I feel that it's really going to put such a doubt, like a really doubtful energy within the relationship. And, of course, because that's what cheating would do. The partner, once they find out about this cheating, it's going to hurt them, of course. And they're really going to doubt the relationship as a whole, or if they should be with you. And I think that's going to what they're going to retract back in their mind. They're really going to be like going through this thing of like, should I stay? Should I go? I feel that the partner that got cheated on cares about the partner that cheated on them a lot because of the fact that they're considering even staying with that person at all instead of just leaving them. Also in the future, I feel that I'm really getting that one of you in the relationship is very just very not a conflict type of person. I think that this person just really wants things to just flow easy, and they really don't like to argue. They feel like, I think that they correlate arguing or even just like having any type of like conflict in the relationship as just such this negative thing. And when really, it's pros and cons to everything. Like it's not necessarily a bad thing on your relationship if you argue, but I feel that this person really feels like they don't want to argue. They don't want to like have any conflict. They would really like do whatever they can to avoid an argument, you know? So with that being said, I feel that a lot of things are not being expressed, and I feel that a lot of things are just being held in. And because of that, it's going to start to like have this like resentment that that person doesn't even know that they are going to have for their partner. And that's just completely unhealthy. I think this person really needs to just learn how to be more expressive with their partner, because all it's going to do is build up resentment, and you don't want that in the relationship. I also think there's a person in the relationship, and I think this is the same person that like holds everything in. I feel like they really want to please the other partner by any means necessary, and that really goes back to them not really wanting to have an argument with with their partner at all. So to where they're like, oh, okay, yeah, kind of like a yes man, like, yeah, that's fine, yeah, that's cool, yeah, we could go eat there. And they might not even like Mexican food, but now they're eating Mexican food because you like Mexican food, or whoever the person is, they're going to just conform to whatever can make the relationship better. Like they just want it to really work out. I also feel that there is someone in the relationship who is not as confident as they could be. I think this relationship is actually taking away more from them than it's adding to them. And if you're in a relationship, your relationship should never take away from you. If anything, it should just add value to your life, but it shouldn't be the substitute of your life. You shouldn't let it substitute your life, period. You know, you have to learn how to be an individual and be in your relationship at the same time. One of the people in this relationship, I feel like their confidence is depleted in comparison to when they first started off in the relationship. The way that they felt about themselves before they got in this relationship was like at a higher level than it is now. I feel like their confidence is definitely low. And this could tie back to the cheating, or the other partner who is either like looking or not, you know, not being as attentive to this partner, to where they don't even realize that, you know, their confidence is kind of like going down. But I feel like this person is attributing their confidence to how their partner makes them feel. So they feel confident and they feel sexy if their partner is making them feel that way. It's almost if the partner is treating them well, or if, you know, if they're good with their partner, then they feel confident. But if them and the partner are at odds, then they don't feel confident. It's like they connect the two versus having it separate, as a separate entity. I also think that there is a person in the relationship who is idealizing everything and really just like not actually being in reality of what's going on in the relationship. So if there is any conflict in the relationship in the future, they're still just like focused on like this like idealization of what the relationship could be or what it should be versus what it actually is, which is also unhealthy for relations. So just try to, like, if this is you or if it's your partner, like, this isn't a good thing to do necessarily. It's okay to have, you know, it's okay to fantasize here and there, but you always have to come back down to earth and like tackle the problems that you and your partner are going through. I feel that I'm getting like visions of marriage, and not necessarily that you would get married, but if there's somebody in the relationship who is just, you know, that's what they're thinking about when they think of you, or maybe that's what you're thinking about when you think of them. It can apply to both people. But someone in the relationship is idealizing this thought of like, oh, I just want to get married. They're like, you know, they kind of like have this like fairy tale idealization in their head. Like, you know, you propose, they have this fairy tale wedding, everybody's there, we're going to get married, we're going to have children, just like, you know, the typical love relationship that people look up to. And they're like so in their head to where the other person's like, we're going through things right now. There's no way we're going to be able to get married anytime soon. We have to figure this out, figure this out, figure this out. And they're just like, yeah, we figure that out. But once we get married, it's like they don't realize that they feel like marriage is kind of like this fix all, you know, like whatever problems that they have before they get married, it's just going to all whisk away once they're married, which is clearly not realistic at all. But, and this is just what I'm feeling, but it might not even just be marriage. It could be anything that they like want to idealize. It could be someone that wants children, but their partner doesn't want children, and they keep fantasizing that they're gonna have children. Their partner's like, look, like, I don't want kids. Like, this isn't reality. So whatever they're idealizing in their head is not fitting what is actually happening in the present and in the moment. And because of this, I think this is going to be I think this is going to be a recurring issue possibly with your relationship in the future. For power number one, it's going to be one person that's so in their head and they're so idealizing everything to where it's like person number two is just like, hey, we have real problems in a relationship and we really need to talk about this and work this out. And they're like, yeah, we do have real problems, but you know, like we're just going to get through it. It's like they really don't want to tackle these problems head on. So just to go back and like kind of give this like somewhat of a summary, I feel like there is a person in the partnership who is harboring everything inside. They're not expressing everything. Their confidence is possibly chipped away, possibly getting cheated on or have been cheated on in a way they're starting to be doubtful about the relationship. But I don't get the energy that they're going to leave. I feel like they're still going to stay if that is to occur or if it has occurred. But I do think that if you are the person that cheated, you need to really put an extra effort because, you know, just help them build up their confidence a little bit. And if you are the person that got cheated on, just, you know, learn how to just build your confidence up a little bit more and not tie that back to the relationship. I'm also getting the themes of idealization. So just really try to stay, if this is you or your partner, just try to stay in the moment, stay in the presence, and also realize, pile number one, that, you know, arguments and conflicts are okay. That doesn't necessarily mean that your relationship isn't working, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have a good relationship. You know, you can still have relationship quote unquote goals, you know, and, you know, have problems. That's okay. I did a timing card as well just to see like what, you know, how long in the future this relationship looks like with the Three of Pentacles. If I'm going off this timing thing that I read, that looks like 3 years. And that doesn't necessarily mean 3 years exactly. It could just mean with the Pentacles, I really feel like that this is a long relationship. I feel like either it's already been a long relationship, but it looks like it's going to last even longer. It looks like it's still some years that will occur with this relationship. So it looks like a pretty solid relationship and that it'll be lasting for at least 3 years, if not more. So if you pick pile number one, I hope this resonated with you. I hope that this gave you some type of insight into what the future looks like for you and your partner. Maybe it can give you some ideas, things that you haven't considered, and hopefully better your relationship. Please like, subscribe, or comment. I'm an open book. And yeah, thank you and have a good day. Okay, pile number two. What does the future hold for you and your partner? So from what I'm getting from this, let me tell you something. Pile number two, if you are hiding something, you need to come clean now. I know if you are hiding something, you might feel like, nah, like they're not gonna take it well, but what I'm getting from this, they are going to find out, okay? They are going to find out. So if you're hiding anything, I don't care how minuscule you think it is, I don't care if you think, you know, if you're hiding it for a reason, and I'm telling you, your partner's gonna find out. That's what the future's looking like. Like, I'm getting secrets, and I'm getting, your partner's gonna find this out. Like, they really are. Now, if you're like, I ain't got no secrets, then well, that means your partner's the one with the secrets, and you're gonna find out. So it looks like I think that this relationship really needs to start to be more, it needs to be some more communication, because there's definitely secrets and there's definitely something that's being hidden. And I'm not sure if it's a really big thing. I think, you know, I think for some people that pick partner number two, it's not as big of an issue, but for some people it is a big issue. But it's definitely something that's being hidden in the relationship. And from this card, it is going to be found out. But the way that the person finds out, it's almost going to be kind of like this obsessive behavior. It's almost like they're going to go through great lengths to find it out, because I don't know if they're going to just feel it in their soul. I don't know if it's just like something's going to click, or even just watching this video, they're like, wait, what? But it's going to get to the point where they're just going to be very obsessive about finding the secret, and they're going to find it. They are going to find it.
I'm about to beat this bitch up.
And I tell people this all the time, especially in relationships. You think something's bad, but when you withhold something from your partner and they have to find out through anyone else or by any other means of communications versus it coming from you, it's always 10 times worse than what it could be. You think that they're going to flip out, but nothing's going to infuriate them more than them finding out through someone else or through searching, and like when you could have just told them, because it could be a small thing. But now, since they had to go through all of this, they had to jump, skip, and hop to get to this information, they're now starting to feel that maybe it's more to it. And it might not even be more to it, but they're going to think that, because if it wasn't more to it, then why couldn't you just express it to them, you know? Or vice versa, why couldn't they just express it to you? So it's just really good to have some type of open communication and just bite the bullet now. If you are the one holding the secret, hopefully it's you. If it's not you, then you know your partner is hiding something from you. That's what the cards are saying for pile number 2. And what the future is holding, that this secret is really it's going to come out for you guys. And I'm feeling like it's going to be like since that's what majority of what these cards are saying, I feel like it's going to be a recurring theme of sometimes I feel like couples will have like this main argument that they consistently kind of have over and over, but it like just changes just a little bit. But for the most part, it's like this recurring argument they tend to have, you know, within their relationship. And I feel like this secret, whatever this secret is, it is going to be an argument that always comes up. It's always going to be like this recurring thing. Like, you never even told me about this, but you expect me to trust you, you know, because trust is very important in relationships. So by whoever's holding the secret, it really, I don't think it's just going to break your relationship, but I do think it's going to be like a breaking point in your relationship to where, you know, y'all are going to be at odds because of the secret, and that's not good at all. Okay, another thing that I see for the future, for if you picked pile number 2, I think that there is going to be this energy of doing things kind of in an alternative way. Instead of taking like these baby steps, it's going to be moving fast, especially without the sword energy, you know, that's air energy. So what I'm getting is that like everything just moves very fast in this relationship, or against, you know, what society or what a lot of people deem as appropriate for the relationship. So such as possibly like, you know, y'all go out, y'all go date, y'all are together for a couple years, then you get engaged, then you get married, then you have kids, then y'all move in together, you know, like the typical steps. I feel like with this relationship in the future, or even currently now, I think everything is kind of just very different, and I think that everything moves so fastly. You're probably the type of couple to just move in with each other, you know, like, hey, let's just move in. And you probably haven't even been together that long, you know, like you do everything just like cuz, you know. I feel like with this relationship, everything just, it just feels right, and it moves very quickly. You know, you possibly already have kids with this person, or about to have a child with this person. And I just feel that even though it seems like this feels great, and I feel like it feels so great, but I really do think that, and you're probably tired of hearing this, I think there needs to be some type of slowdown, because you take all these shortcuts, but eventually, you know, it necessarily can have a negative effect. I think there should be some type of slowing down, just, whew. And if you notice, I think I was talking super fast. I think I'm still talking super fast because I'm kind of like getting that energy from the cards. But yes, like I just feel like, oh, it's just like this rushingness, you know? And I really do feel like with this relationship, y'all, it's love there. It's love there. And I know for a fact, y'all got each other's backs. At least one of y'all for sure is like, this is my man, or this is my woman. Y'all will defend each other to other people. That is not up for debate. It's not debatable. It's not up for question. But what I'm also getting is that, you know, just slow down. I know that it feels like, you know, like you don't have that much time. And I feel like this relationship just like, oh, I love the way that this makes me feel. So I know, like, I get why you would want to move in with this person, because it feels great. It feels amazing being with them, to where you're just like, yeah, like, why wait? But like, you know, it's okay just to wait. Just wait a little bit. If I wanted to give this signs, either you or your partner or Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or possible Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Also, a recurring theme or overall theme that I'm getting for the future of the relationship, I do think that, yeah, I'm getting this like head over heels type of love. Like it moved very quick. Like, I feel like both of y'all, either one of y'all, fell in love very quickly. and there was just like this like romantic gestures, and like one of you is very romantic, and then I think another person is just very open to just learning from this. Like they're just, and really just enjoying the ride. And I feel like, you know, I feel like whoever is like I feel like there's one partner that's just like kind of like the teacher, and then I feel like the other partner is just kind of like the learner. Like they're always putting them on game, they're always teaching them things and stuff like that. So I do feel like you guys just bounce off of each other, and it's just like this bouncing off of each other type of energy, and it just works, you know. And I do think that because of how fast y'all move in your relationship, I think that a lot of people are skeptical of the relationship, or you might have to hear unwarranted opinions about your relationship a lot. And a lot of people try to inflict on, you know, the route that you're taking, and oh, you're moving too fast, and do you even know this guy, or do you even know this girl? I feel like a lot of like judginess when it comes to this relationship, but I feel like you really don't give a fuck, to be honest. I feel like you're going to, I definitely get like this defensive energy. So like whoever has an opinion about your woman, or whoever has an opinion about your man, like you're not really here for it, and they're not really here for it either. You're both gonna defend each other. My overall advice for the future of the relationship is to have more of an open communication within each other. I think that, you know, everything moves so fast, and there is so much love there to where, there is some type of hiddenness, something that's being hidden. And I don't think it's a major thing, but whoever is hiding something really needs to just come clean in order to keep this, like, you know, this lovey-dovey relationship, because it is going to be like an issue in your relationship. The overall timing that I'm getting from this, on how long it will last, I think for one groups, this is only going to last for a couple more months. And then for another group, it looks like it can last for years. So it kind of just depends on what route you're taking. I think that if you guys focus so much on the romance and so much on that lovey-dovey like thing, that you're looking at like months, or by next summer possibly that it ends or whatever, or even by this winter, it won't last too long because there's no like real groundingness. But if you are willing to just be grounded and be more in the moment with it, and just, you know, slow it down just a little bit with the pace, and keep up with that more of like teacher learning and bouncing off of each other, then it looks like it's a relationship that will last for years. So pile number 2, I really hope this resonated with you. I hope this gave you some type of insight on how your relationship is going to go in the future, and it just helps you overall with the relationship. Please like, subscribe, comment, whatever you may feel at the moment. I am an open book. Thank you for watching, and have a good day. Okay, pile number 3, what does the future look like for you and your partner? I don't even know where to start. It's a lot going on in this pile, but, you know, let's just get into it. So for this pile in the future, I do see someone in the relationship who has put way more into the relationship than another person. So I don't think that it is really 50-50 when it comes to this relationship. I think it's more of like an 80-20 relationship. I think there's a partner who has put almost everything into the relationship. It's almost like it's the relationship, and then it's kind of like that's it. There's nothing really else that they're like really 100% or really just putting energy into outside the relationship. I feel like it's just a relationship, and everything else is just like dead to them. And I don't think it started off at that point. I think it just has gotten to that point. I think this is more for people who have already been in a relationship for a while, more than people that have like just started dating or anything like that. I'm getting this has been a relationship for a minute. If y'all are newly in a relationship, then just take it how it resonates. But I do get like this feeling that the relationship started off as it didn't start off with this person sacrificing so much in a relationship. I do think that they had other avenues and things that they were working on for themselves as an individual, but just slowly and slowly and slowly and slowly and slowly, and before you know it, you know, you just open your eyes and, you know, it's kind of like, it's just like this relationship and nothing else, which is completely unhealthy. It's always good for you to have something that you like outside of your relationship, because, you know, it's a relationship, but, you know, you are your own person too. So I think that this person has sacrificed so much when it comes to this relationship, and that they have given so much when it comes to a relationship, that it's getting to a point where they are like at their end, you know? Like they are really at the end. They're almost like, if this person does one more thing, or if I have to go through one more thing, or if I have to sacrifice one more thing, I swear to God, I'm out the door. So I really do think that there's like a breaking point that's leading up with this specific person. And with the other person, are they aware of it? Possibly. I do get kind of like some manipulative, controlling vibes from this. I do think that the other person does put a lot of emotional baggage, not emotional baggage, I'm sorry. I do think that the other person expects a lot from the person who has sacrificed a lot, like so much, way more than they are actually giving in the relationship. And I think this person is not necessarily, I don't want to say they're just not emotional, but I don't think they think so objectively about everything. And when it comes to a relationship, you know, you need to think objectively, but at the same time, you know, it can be an emotional thing too. It's okay to just really like have a good balance. It's almost as if they don't know how to just express, you know, like this upset me or this angered me or anything like that. It's more of like, well, you know. And I think every time this person, the person that's sacrificing a lot, really tries to sit down the other person in the relationship and have like a really just, you know, a good conversation like about what they're experiencing, what they felt, or whatever the issue may be, this other person's very dismissive of it, and they almost write it off as, oh, you're just in your feelings, or you're just being emotional again, or, you know, you're just taking this out of proportion, you're just being dramatic, and there's no real conflict resolution here. There's no real working it out as it should be. And this is going to be an issue in this relationship in the future. So just really keep that in mind and take it how you take it. I think what's going to happen, I think this person who has sacrificed the most in the relationship, or who has given so much to the relationship, they're going to get to a point where they're going to start to rebel from what they've usually done in the relationship. So if they're usually the type to stay at home, or if they're usually the type that doesn't work, or whatever is like the usual in your relationship, this person is not going to be doing that anymore. And it's gonna actually start off slow. I don't feel like it's gonna be just like they're gonna wake up one day and like, I'm not doing this. Like, it's really gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna do this, and then the other person's gonna be like, okay, yeah, whatever. And then they're gonna be like, okay, wait, like, what's going on? I don't really like this. Because I do get like this kind of like control freak vibe from the partner who's not sacrificing as much. So when they see that this the other partner is starting to not necessarily float away or get away from them, but starting to be more of their individual and be more independent from them, it is going to cause conflict, because in their mind, they think so objectively that they're going to start to think that they don't want to be with me anymore. They're trying to break up with me. They don't, you know, it's almost as if they just kind of think of the extremes with it, when that's not necessarily true. I think this other person just really is tired of feeling like they only have this relationship. And I don't think this is something that happened currently. I really do feel like this is just something that's going to happen in the future. Like, one partner is really going to step more into their individuality, and the other partner is going to have a hard time accepting this new version of their partner. I feel like they've gotten so adjusted to this person sacrificing and kind of being their like rock, so now they feel like, am I losing my rock? Am I losing my relationship now that this person is trying to like find themselves? And I feel like they do want to be supportive, but at the same time, it's just like, they honestly felt like the relationship was great and good and everything was going smooth and everything is just flowing, and almost seems like, why do you want to change? Why do you want to do all these different things? Why are you trying to, you know, be your own person? Like, they really see it as if that person is trying to sabotage the relationship, and really they're just trying to find out who they are outside of the relationship. So as long as that other person stops thinking so objectively and just really let their rock just start to just be who they want to be individually, then it shouldn't be any problems, and the relationship would actually be stronger. But if this person starts to become their own individual, and the other person, instead of just accepting it for what it is and being more supportive for their partner, if they start to like ridicule them or try to like bash them or really make them feel like these new choices that they're making for themselves aren't good ones, or, you know, just not be as supportive as they should be, I think it's really going to cause conflict in the relationship, and it could be like lead up to a breakup. Okay, so for pile number 3, in the future, I'm really just getting basically the theme of one partner starting to become their individual self and become a separate thing outside of the relationship, and depending on what route the other partner takes is what is going to affect the relationship. So as long as they're supportive, I feel like your relationship is going to be stronger than ever, and this is going to be great. But if they're not supportive, and if they become even more controlling or even more manipulative or anything like that, any like real negative, super negative response to you going out of that, then it won't be good. If you are the person that, you know, maybe you haven't sacrificed as much as you could, or, you know, you're very dependent on your partner, if you feel like you're this other person, the other partner is more of the rock, just please try to be understanding of them finding their individualism, and try to not think of it so objectively, and just let them find who they need to be. You know, this is really going to make your relationship stronger, and it's going to feel weird, it's going to feel odd, and you're going to want to fight or reject against it, but try to do that as little as possible, because that's what's going to be the thing that cracks the foundation of your relationship, not them actually finding their individualism. The timing that I'm getting for the relationship, just what I said before, I think is really going to vary on how each partner reacts to each other, because it's definitely going to be a massive, or at least feel like a massive change in the relationship, this partner coming into their own, into a way, depending on how the other partner responds, it really is going to affect the timing of the relationship. So if there is a positive response to it, and the change, I mean, it's going to cause some problems, of course, because it's a change, that's especially with the Tower card, that's like destruction in a way, but I feel that you guys can get through this, and I feel like it could really last. It can really build, like your relationship will be stronger, and you will last long if it's responded to in a positive way. So it can go either way. Thank you so much if you picked pile number 3. I really hope this resonated with you. I really hope this gave you some insight into the future of your relationship, or even into the current state of your relationship now. And hopefully this will help you guys just become stronger. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and have a great day. Okay, pile number 4. What does the future hold for you and your partner? So what I'm getting from this is, if you pick this, you've probably really been looking for a video like this. I feel like there's definitely some uncertainty on what the future is for you guys. So I'm here to give you some type of clarity. I'm getting that someone in the relationship is just really like starting to, I don't know. I feel like someone in this relationship is like ready to leave, actually. Like I'm really getting someone who's like, either they're ready to leave, or you're headed, not you, but they're headed towards the path of separation, like ready to kind of like get away from the relationship in a way. And I think this is something they really have like been thinking about, and it's something that's really been heavy on their heart. And I do feel like there's a lot of love here. I think the person is trying to leave, I do think that they really love this person. That's why they've been contemplating it so much. But at the same time, yeah, they're ready to go. I'm getting this energy of arguments and just like a lot of instability, to where the person who's ready to leave is just really tired of being in that situation with their partner. But I don't think that this negates the fact that they do love their partner. I think they just are getting to a point where they feel like it's becoming more toxic than it is becoming beneficial to them and their mental health and who they are as a person. I'm definitely getting water vibes from this: Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. So it's definitely like this detachment. It's almost if, and I think this is kind of like a reoccurring thing for this person. I don't think this is just specifically based on relationships. I think they also do this in their day-to-day life. I think that they really don't like conflict, to a point where if there's an argument, if there's any type of issue, instead of just tackling it head on, I think they tend to just detach from the problem and just say, you know what, well, we shouldn't be together. And then the other person's just like, okay, like, we just had an argument, like it's not that deep, but it really is deep to this person, because it's just, that's who they are. They don't really like instability, they really don't like conflict, they don't really like any of those things. So it's like they're kind of treading on the line and on the fence of this relationship, and really just starting it to a point where they're contemplating really leaving. but they are uncertain about it. I don't really feel like it's like a yes, I really do. That's why I think there's love here. There truly is love here. And you know, they're just really open to change. They're open to experiencing something different outside of this relationship, and they're open to just experiencing that outside. Either you're open to that or them, but someone's open to starting to like drift their head to like other options or alternative things outside of the relationship. I think that this person has been in a lot of relationships before. The person that's considering leaving, I think that they've had past relationships a good amount to where if they see even like something that's slightly similar to a previous relationship, they feel like, okay, well, it's time to go. I've been through this, I've done this before, I'm not gonna keep going through the same thing, I'm not gonna keep, you know, they feel like they're learning from their mistakes in a way to where like, okay, like you're doing this thing that this person used to do, so this means I need to leave now. To them, that's like a red flag. But really, and honestly, I think the reality is not really matching to what's in their brain. Like it really might not even be that deep or serious, but I feel like there's so much deep-seated pain in this person that I feel like they are so scared of just like really letting the other person just be their partner and be in the moment with their partner because they keep reflecting on their previous relationships where they were hurt badly. So if this partner does one thing that might be even slightly similar to the person in their previous relationship, they automatically think that's a red flag. And it might not even be a red flag. It could be just what it is, just an argument. But that's not how they see it. They see it like, okay, well, you know, like I need to break up with this person. Like this is just too much. This is the same thing I already went through. I'm not going to keep going through this. And that's just where their mind and their headspace is. So if this is you or if it's not you, I think if it is you, just take a breather, breathe, and really like reflect and make sure you're not putting so much of your past hurt into your current relationship. If this isn't you, then when it comes to your partner, just try to be a little bit, I feel like you already are understanding. So if this isn't you, I feel like you're already an understanding partner. I feel like you are compassionate. I feel like you give them the room for them to breathe and just like be themselves, but yet they still just kind of keep pushing away from you. For some reason, it's like they just are having a hard time opening themselves up to this new love. Because I really do feel like you love this person if it's not you who's trying to leave. So I think the best way for them is possibly just communicate to them that, you know, I feel like it's really not anything else more that you can do, honestly. From what I'm getting, I feel like you've already done everything you did. I do think that you communicate with them. I do think that you let them know that you are there for them and there's no need for them to worry. But I feel like there's so much hurt and pain and they've been scarred so much that they have to see that on their own. This is something they really have to just figure out on their own. And I really hope they figure that out for the sake of the relationship. I'm getting possibly from pile number 4, there is like this theme of like commitment, but like I feel that I feel like someone in the relationship just does not feel secure. It could be the same person I was talking about previously about leaving, or it could be just a different group that's listening to pile number 4. But there is someone who just feels like there's just not enough stable ground for the relationship for it to thoroughly thrive. I feel like they think that it's just not enough. I'm also getting possibly, if you're picking up pile number 4, you might not even be in a relationship with this person. Maybe you want to be in a relationship with this person, and I feel like they're like the type of people that's just not like ready to commit. I do get that there could be some people who pick pile number 4 that aren't actually in a relationship. They're just being like strung along right now, and the person's just stringing them along, and like I feel like you do love them, and you have an open heart for them, and you have been compassionate towards them, and you have been like this rock for them. And basically you're giving them everything that they would get in a relationship with you without them even giving you the title of a relationship. And I feel that it's time for you to possibly cut ties if this is a situationship more than a relationship. Because I do not feel like that they're going to make that commitment with you. I feel like they have way more stuff that they need to heal personally before they could possibly ever make that commitment with you or with anyone right now at this moment. And you don't deserve to be continuously strung along like that, you know? And I think that you see them for who you are, see them for who they are, and you see what they've been through, and you really do, you're a good person because you really do want to be there for them, and you have shown that time and time again. But you know, how much do you have to show this person this over and over again? It's like they see that you're a good person, but you know, they're not ready to make that jump. And why waste your time and why waste their time? You know, why just have all this time wasted for a relationship that might not even happen? So what I'm getting from this is that they're like, I still don't see them making a commitment to you if this is more of a situationship than a relationship. That was just for a group that came to me. I'm also getting, if you chose pile number 4, this might be the same person I've been talking about, but there is definitely someone who is just ready to like explore and like kind of like be single more than they are like focused on the relationship. I do get like them like looking at prospects and looking at other people. You know, like they're just like this kind of like curiosity nature, and they just see it as like, oh, this is like, if they haven't done that yet, if they're like, you feel like, no, that's not me, they're fully committed to the relationship, I'm fully committed, I feel like possibly this is something that could be happening in the future, to where they're starting to, you know, peep and think that, even have like a thought in their head for like even like a millisecond, that the grass is possibly greener on the other side. It's almost if they're gonna have a lot of temptations from other people. It is gonna be a lot of people like temptation, like trying to just get their attention, even though they know they're in a relationship and stuff like that. And I'm getting more of the energy that I don't know if they're actually gonna pursue this, but they're gonna have some temptation, and they're gonna have their eye wandering possibly, and they might even flirt a little bit. But if they're gonna actually act on it, like cheat on you, I really can't say. But this, you know, it's definitely going to be like some type of wandering eye. Overall, for the length of the relationship, if you pick pile number 4, I don't really get long lasting vibes from this pile. I really wish I did, but I just, you know, we're looking at weeks to months of it lasting past this, and this could just be for now. Y'all might get separated and get back together, and then that's a whole new timeline. But for me picking this pile, I really don't get it lasting long. If you pick pile number 4, I really hope this resonated with you. I hope this gave you some type of insight into your relationship, and it helped you gain some type of clarity in what you needed to hopefully better the relationship and help you figure out whatever decisions you have to make. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please like, subscribe, comment. I am an open book. Have a great day. Okay, that's it for what does the future hold for us. I really hope whatever pile you pick, it helped you resonate. Some messages will probably be very hard to hear, but it's the future. It's gonna have some conflicts, it's gonna have some pros and cons, but I really want to do something for the couples and give them some more of an insight into the relationship and what their future does have for them. If you are dating, then that can give you insight. If you're already in a relationship, what type of problems could possibly occur, and like kind of give you like in the mood of what you possibly can work on in the relationship. I really enjoy doing these. I'm always open to new ideas. If you have any suggestions, I'll probably do the video if someone suggests something, because you know, I'm all about the people. Thank you so much for watching.